first step is we're going to connect to our observer so we
Okay.
can collect some data. And so that'll take just a second to find it. Connects over Wi-Fi, but the VRMobile app does all that automatically. And then we can check on our data, check our input config. We're going to assume all of that's good. We've done that already. So once
Okay.
we're connected, we'll be able to see the data that we're acquiring with the observer. So here we are. It's loading the graphs. There we go.
Okay.
All right, looks like our observer is doing great. So up in the corner here, we have a little camera icon. That's new.
Okay.
We click on that. And so camera sync, we have a few options. One, we can use our own phone's camera. So all we have to do is enable that. It'll
Yes.
ask for permission if you haven't used that before. And you can use either camera on your phone. If you just tap the camera preview, there we go. Now it's looking at us. And so we have a little record button. If we hit that, it'll start taking a recording of us right here.
Oh, this is going to be really handy.
Oh,
Everybody's
absolutely.
got a phone with them when they're in the lab.
Exactly, yep. So we'll stop that now. And we also have an option for the observer. We can see the observer, and if we tap that, now that's recording right over there.
Yep.
So we remotely triggered a recording on the observer. So that's the first thing we can do. But we also have these GoPro cameras. Now, if you don't own a GoPro, just using the phone is great. But the GoPro is a nice way to capture some footage, say, outside of the vehicle or what have you. So there is a little bit of a process involved in connecting to the GoPro. If you've never connected to it before with your phone, you have to pair it. Like any Bluetooth device, you have to pair the device.
Yep.
Now, you can do that without leaving the app. All we have to do is click Connect on the app, and then on the GoPro, now it's a little bit involved. The GoPro UI is a little confusing. So we swipe down,
Yep.
and then we swipe left to bring up connections. And then we're going to tell it we want to connect to a device.
Yep.
And we're going to choose the GoPro Quick app. Now, you don't actually have to have the app installed on your phone, but that's the one we choose. It gives instructions. We don't have to worry about that. Once we're on this screen, again on VRMobile, we connect. In a couple seconds, a pairing request comes up. Do you want to connect with this GoPro? And you say, yep, pair and connect. You don't have to give it access to your contacts or anything like that. It doesn't care about that. And now we're paired up.
Okay.
There we are.
Yep.
Shows battery life, shows how much time we have remaining on the SD card, how much footage we can record,
Nice.
and everything's there.
Okay, very good.
And we can do more than one. So I have another GoPro. Now
Okay.
this one I've already connected to once.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of turning it on. Within a few seconds, it's going to show up here in the app right along with the other GoPro. Sometimes it takes a couple cycles to find it.
But if you've been paired before,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yep.
there it is.
There it is. We just hit connect. And there it is.
Okay, so it comes up. So maybe it sometimes would be helpful if you've already paired, then it would streamline it
Exactly.
a little bit.
Yep. Yep. You only have to do this once.
So if you've done that in the lab maybe before,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
then
once-
you won't have to go through that process on the GoPro. But
Correct.
even if you had to, that wasn't
Right.
that difficult.
No, it wasn't a terribly challenging process. It just took a minute. What's nice too is this connection stays for a long time. So I don't know if you noticed, this GoPro, the screen just turned off.
Yes.
But the GoPro is not off.
Okay.
I can still trigger a recording, even if it looks like it's asleep.
This one just went to sleep too.
Yep, and there goes that one. As soon as I click record, it wakes it up and starts the recording.
Okay.
And what's critical too,
That's almost instantaneous when you hit those buttons.
yep,
That's great.
what's really nice too, this was such a challenge. GoPros are notorious for not keeping the time,
Okay.
right? Not knowing the current date and time. And so part of the connection process is it takes the time from your phone, tells it, hey, it's 9:42 on this date, and everything's in sync.
Okay.
So you don't have to manually go into your phone and tell it, or into your camera and tell it what time it is. We just tap the button and everything is synced up. Your phone, your observer, your cameras, they all are in agreement on what time it is, which is critical for when we start recording.
Yep.
So that everything lines up.
With the data and the vibrations and so on that you're collecting on the observer.
Exactly. So now let's pretend that we're, ready to collect some data. We're out in the field, what have you. There's one red button at the top of this dialog. Okay, it looks like multiple record buttons, right?
Yeah.
So when you click that,
All
everything, yep, everything will start recording at once. The observer, the phone, both GoPros. So we click that, and there they all are.
Yep.
Now, there's a little lag. Obviously, connecting wirelessly to all these devices, it will take a second to get them all going, but that's a lot better than what we dealt with before, where footage was all over the place, right?
Okay, this is a great feature.
So now we click stop, and everything ends, and there we go. We have all our data.
Okay, so that's excellent.
Yeah.
And what we did is we went out on the road.
Yes.
And we tested this on a set of data on the road. So
Yep.
what we'd like to do is show you, if you want to pull that up, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
What we did is we went out on the road, collected some data in a car, and all the data is stored on the SD card of the observer. And when we bring that into our computer at our lab desk, all the data that was collected on the SD card is in that folder. But what we also had was data from the GoPros
Mm-hmm.
and your phone.
Yes.
And what we did is we downloaded that also to
Mhm.
your computer.
Yep.
And one vitally important step that our engineers need to understand is to make sure that you put all your files in the same folder.
Correct.
So the folder that's created from the SD card that you download
Mm-hmm.
already has like GoPro, the GPS, the NMEA data, and
Yep.
the VFW file. But all the other videos and such have to get imported into the same folder. In order for, let's go do that. Let's
Yep.
click on the VFW folder. All right, here's some data that we've collected. And if we go to the View tab, formerly it was, this is our new 2023 ObserView software. Formerly that was in
The replay tab.
the Replay tab. So now under View, you see the multimedia sync. If we click on that, it's going to pull up all the videos that we took.
Yes. Yep. Now this one recorded upside down. My phone was acting a little weird, but we have an option for that. We rotate again, and there we go. Now
Okay.
it's facing the correct way.
So we can put cameras upside down and
Yeah.
no worries.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. So
I
yeah.
kind of like that happened because
Yeah.
that gave us an opportunity to show that
Yeah.
that's not incurable. So
Yep.
nice. Are we able to run this? Can you play this file and see how this all
Yeah.
how
Yep.
the cameras and everything are syncing?
So we notice right here, it does calculate the latency because not every camera started at the exact same time. Because we had that time stamp recorded, it knows, okay, 3 seconds into the recording is when this video starts, this video is 1 second, and this video was shortly after because this was recorded on the phone. But when we start playing back the data,
Yep.
we'll see that in the time waveform graph.
Yep.
There goes all the footage. All three cameras are moving at the same time. Now, sometimes you will run into some issues if you record really high quality video, if your computer can't keep up. The good news is the GoPros record a lower resolution video. Those are those LRV files we saw in the folder.
Okay.
If we click HD here, it's going to switch them to SD, and those will do a much better job of keeping up
Okay.
as we play back. If you want the higher quality footage, you can switch back. But for, just a quick comparison,
Can you
the
show that
lower
again?
resolution.
Can you show that again? What you just did?
Yep, that's right here where it says SD right now. If I click
So
that,
you're in the lower
yep,
resolution right now.
Correct.
Is that for all three videos?
it is for all three videos.
Okay.
Yes, yep. Even though we only have one control, it's changing all three videos, if there is one, to an HD version of it.
Correct.
Yep,
So you would, when you do this, it's going to do it to all videos that you are opening at the same time. Okay.
exactly.
Very
Yep.
good.
Yeah, and so there we have it. We have all our footage so that when we scan through this file, we want to see, okay, what was happening when we had, say, these big spikes here. We can see it was probably the highway we were driving on had some potholes.
pothole.
Yep, sure enough. We can see those from the wheel cam right here.
And on the screen, you see the
Yeah, we can
vibration
see
right there.
some spikes in the acceleration data. So we can easily correlate that. We can see what was happening during our drive.
Yeah, this is excellent. This is very helpful. I really like the ease in which you can add the videos,
Mhm.
and that they're all timestamps synced together.
Yeah.
That takes away all that work of the past of trying to find out where they
Mm-hmm.
match. And then this new feature of being able to use the phone's video
Yeah.
is very handy
Yeah.
because not everyone necessarily has a GoPro nearby, but
You've almost
So
always got
everyone
a
has a
phone.
phone.
While you're collecting data. You've almost always got a phone with you.
yeah, I see a lot of applications available for test engineers with this. So this is a great feature, Matt.
All right.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely.